Welcome to Game Devs Play Games, where you can watch games, practice game design, and we are here today with the cult classic. Was it cult classic, or was it just...
Well...
I mean, like, it was definitely popular.
It was popular. I do think it has more of, like, a cult following as opposed to a mainstream, like...
Yeah, I feel like it's still one of, like, of all the Mario games... We're playing Super Mario RPG. Of all the Mario games, I feel like this is the one that, like... people that knew about it loved it.
Yeah,
And then there were just a lot of people that maybe liked Mario and never heard about this one.
Right.
Because it was a weird addition to the franchise.
It was kind of a curveball for some, and I think it kind of threw people off a little bit, but as a kid, this was one of my favorite games. Like, not everybody in my family likes video games, but this is the one that I'm pretty sure everybody really, really loved. So, yeah. So we are playing Super Mario RPG because why not? And yeah, it's gonna be fun. Marion, Marion, Hey Mario, what you doing? It is pronounced Marion now.
It's still Mario.
Mario! Why have you done this?
I can't believe you've done this.
I like Marion.
Oh look, it's Peach. Oh my gosh, what birthday cake am I gonna make?
So Square is the one who developed this. Nintendo
Yes.
just licensed the Mario IP. So I kind of like that Square was just like, we're not going to mess around, we're just going to Bowser kidnaps Peach, whatever. She's dicking around with butterflies or some shit. Mario's like, I'm a fuck up Bowser.
I'm a going to jump for no reason.
I'm a going kick his ass.
Yeah. You can definitely tell that this was Square because it's got that little bit of, like, flavor to the game that's just... It's got that little bit of mysticism that I think some of those older Square RPGs were kind of... Well, think like Final Fantasy.
I mean, sure,
maybe
but
like...
in what way?
I don't know. I don't want to say mysticism. Maybe I'm not
It has a
thinking right there.
fantasy-esque vibe to it from the very beginning, which... What do you think is doing that?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the design or the patterns that they have for the castles and whatnot. I love that sound, by the way.
Sound design in this game is exceptional.
Yes. And I thought it was a really, really interesting way to illustrate a RPG combat menu by just literally having it be the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going
actually,
up, or down, and then having to hit the same button to do things like...
Yeah, so if you notice, like, obviously there was another save file on here, and that was because I just started playing this on my downtime for fun, because I fucking love Mario RPG. We're playing this on the SNES Classic.
Still really impressed that you were able to grab one of these.
I pre-ordered it. If you pre-order it, it's not hard.
Well,
I guess the pre-orders kind of ran out quick, but...
Yeah. Because I heard, at least for the NES Classic, it was a little on the ridiculous side.
It was a nightmare. It was. That's why I, for the longest time, I was like, I don't know if I'll get the SNES Classic, because I'm mad that it was so difficult to get the NES one.
Right.
But of course, Nintendo at some point was like, at first Nintendo was like, well, that's it. We're not going to make any more. Sucks to suck, I guess. And I was like, but I want to have the whole collection.
Don't let Bowser raise you, Mario.
You want that?
No, you said you wanted Bowser.
Mario, prepare yourself for the great beyond.
I like your Bowser voice.
Why, thank you.
Yeah. So I've been playing a little bit of this, so it's not very unfamiliar. But the first thing that I thought about when I first came back into this game was how simple and fluid the interface was.
Mario, the chain.
Oh, right.
Oh, aim for the chain. Mario.
She gets a little too into it.
So from a tutorial standpoint, that's pretty smart. It, right off the bat, like, expects us to not understand that we can change targets.
Right.
And that's their way of being like, BT dubs.
What was that sound? No! It's a chain reaction.
Oh my god.
Hang on, Kinklink. My boo-bed, no! Or yeah!
Yes!
Coming, Mario.
No! Oh no!
Fight, Mario! Fight!
I am doing something.
I hope I really didn't clip the mic with that one.
This should finish you.
I did it! Oh no!
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, gravity sucks.
How did I get
did
these
more.
high
That was more
up?
Luigi.
Gravity sucks, Mario.
Oh, Mario.
Waha. Did you think I was just gonna give her to you? You're always in my way.
Dude, stop stealing.
This is
speech.
it. I'm gonna take you out, Mario.
You wouldn't have to worry about me if you didn't.
Funga, foiled again.
Fun guy. How did I jump this high?
Oh, that's right. I'm fucking Mario. My thighs are made of steel.
Oh,
Mario,
like Mario's face.
you had me somewhere.
Oh yeah, she's like.
Mario's also just floating.
Let's get out of here. Shriek, Mario, I'm gonna fall.
Don't do that. Stop it.
I've got a migraine from all of this vibration.
Oh, I actually had control of that one.
That's okay.
It started auto-scrolling, and I was like, fine, I guess. But only
Yeah.
for one line. I was like, what? Why did you...
Why do you need me to progress past that? I always thought as a kid that this was a really, like, weird... Like... Monster.
Yeah, no,
Like, I get it, because, like, that's the logo, and it's really cool and interesting, but, like...
Well, I mean, these are enemies that appear throughout the game, too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's... Why is it a sword monster?
Because square.
Square.
Actually, that's probably the
Well,
best
yeah,
explanation.
100%.
Yeah, because square.
Because square. I mean, like, it creates a really nice, like, zoomed out
I love the world map.
landmark. Oh,
Yeah.
the world map's great.
Yeah. I don't know if I can do Toad.
I got Toad.
Okay. Just don't hurt
Don't you
yourself.
worry your sweet little
Please
face.
don't hurt yourself. We've already clipped the mic.
Only once, actually.
Oh, that's fair.
I paid attention. Came dangerously close a lot, though. If I don't move, he won't find me.
Hey, Mario! Lots of people here use something called the door to go in and out of their houses. Anyway, I came back to pick up Toadstool since she's a bit late.
I came to pick up that bourbon that I left here the other night.
Oh, well, that was some shit. Let's go to sleep.
I forgot about that. Oh, bedtime!
There's something satisfying about doing that right after all that shit. Like, well, I'll sleep on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you're still here.
Oh, great.
Hey, I thought the princess was here with you, Mario. Where is she?
By the way, I really am happy that his name doesn't change with the name selector.
Right.
It's just for the game file, which, like, I like that.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
If they let us rename Mario, it'd be like, but that's not his name.
Exactly. That's like the one character that you can't change the name for because
Yeah,
it just
right.
doesn't feel right.
Mario, what's with the silent treatment? You're not telling me something. It's Bowser again, isn't it? Oh no, here we go again. Mario, would you please bring her back like you always do?
It's not like you said Mario.
If you're tired, just turn off the fungi light for a snooze.
Thanks, Toad. Thanks for that.
Thanks.
Thanks, Toad.
Mario's pad.
Mario.
You know, people actually do call him Mario, though.
Really?
Yeah, like it's a thing.
I mean, whatever.
Well, if you go to Bastin.
Bastin?
That's how they say it, right?
Bastin.
Bastin.
You want this one?
What?
Do you want?
Oh, his voice? Yeah, sure.
Halt, who goes there? A trespasser! This castle now belongs to us, the Smithy Gang! It's our first step toward taking over this world. And if it weren't for nosy characters like you, we'd practically own this world. So let's see you deal with this!
Like that you made him- I forgot about that. It just keeps on getting more and more intense.
If I chatter fast enough, you will run away.
Oh, the
I have
bridge zone.
jaws of steel.
I like that you made him really pretentious.
We could just keep coming back and watching this. Like, shit, the bridge is still gone.
The camera effect on this is actually really clever. I just really like coming back here for it.
It's pretty cool.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
No Toad?
You be inside, yo.
I'm just gonna sleep. Yeah, there he is.
You're back so soon. Did you forget something? No? What happened then?
It was the big
I
sword
defied
guy.
gravity for a second.
And there was the bridge.
The bridge to Bowser's Keep is out now? Just wonderful. We must inform the Chancellor of Mushroom Kingdom at once. Let's go, Mario.
Wait for it. Go ahead. Oh, I thought. Never mind.
That I was gonna go to sleep?
Yeah. Oh, that's where it happens.
Oh.
Oops, excuse me. Oh, that bump on your head reduced your HP level. One of Mushroom Kingdom's famous items that'll perk you right up.
You were gonna kill your voice.
Received a mushroom.
You received.
Do you know how to use items?
Of course I do.
Oh, I see.
Job.
You're just so well-traveled and experienced, Mario. But in every respect, I did tell you something. Oh, fuck. Heck, I remember. I came to warn you that the mushroom way is swarming with monsters. I just barely made it back here in one piece. Mario, please do something.
Mario.
Perhaps I can help. Do you know about timed hits?
I do.
Come on now, Toad.
Hey, you better watch out. He knows about timed hits. He's gonna put your lights out.
Oh, whatever.
He's got more bark than bite, huh? Mario! Now what did
keep
I
on saying
respect? I had something to
Mario.
tell you. Ah, that's right. We need to tell the Chancellor about Toadstool.
Chancellor.
Chancellor! See you over at Mushroom Kingdom, just in case take these with you.
Received 3
He's
mushrooms.
literally appointed just so Peach could be like,
I don't want to go to this. Tell them for me. And he's like,
Mario!
As Supreme Chancellor, I'm here to inform you that Princess Peach has other matters.
That'd be pretty great. So that tutorial, I know I skipped it, but the tutorial was actually not too bad.
No, yeah.
Basically how they do it is they walk you through everything, and they freeze frame things so that you get the gist of how things work. It's, it's a little like, let's spend 5 minutes going through the whole process, reading a lot of text, but they integrate it in a way that actually keeps things interesting.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a pretty good job of that. And for a game of this generation, good tutorials weren't often a thing.
Yeah, a lot of times games just sort of expected you to figure it out, and like, while that's cool in certain games, but in an RPG like this, it's kind of nice, especially because it's a Mario game, so naturally you're going to be drawing in people who don't play RPGs
Oh yeah.
into trying to play this, and it's going to be
Yeah.
something entirely different, so they have to be like, do you want to learn about how this works?
That's a good point. In a weird sense, wow. This sort of compares to what they're currently doing now with the Mario plus Rabbids.
Yep.
Like, it was Nintendo being like, yeah, sure, we can go off, like, brand with Mario and try out a different genre.
Right. We've done
Weird.
it before. Yeah.
And, like, this worked out so well that they obviously kept making RPG games.
Right.
They didn't pair up with Square again, but...
I love the Koopas in this
Oh.
game. They just look like...
I'm not very good at doing the timed dodge or timed defenses, but I'm way better at the timed attacks.
There were timed defenses in this one too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. For some reason, I always thought that it was just the timed hits. Oh, no, now I remember.
I mean, arguably the timed hits are more important than the timed defenses.
Right.
Because, like, you're more likely to... I think you do, like, 33% more damage with a timed hit,
Yep.
but timed defense only...
Negates so much.
Like, early game, it doesn't seem to negate more than 1 hit point of damage.
Mhm.
And even then, in some cases, it doesn't actually do anything.
Gotcha.
I
I like the subtlety
okay.
for that coin box you were hitting, where you knew it was the last coin when it stayed open for a hot second, a little bit longer.
It also removes that
The question mark.
mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like double visual feedback.
Yeah.
Wha- Yes.
I love this battle song. I just want to dance.
There's a lot in this game. So, like, obviously JRPGs of this era had the tendency of kind of dragging on too long and just kind of becoming redundant and repetitive. And while this game definitely still sort of suffers from that a bit, I think they did a lot of things that helped negate that feeling. Yes, that's what I was hoping for. Nice. I mean, for one thing, this game is short. Most JRPGs at this point were like 40-hour playthroughs.
Final Fantasy VI, like
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Phew, my life was flashing before my eyes for a second there. Here's a little something in return.
You received bag of cocaine.
Like, shit, this will keep me going for a while. Wahoo!
I could jump to the moon.
So, you don't need to grind in this game, I don't think.
It kind of helps, but not. It's not a. I don't think they styled this game to really like rely on that in order to progress.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of games in this generation, like, we as, doofy little kids thought that we had to grind because we were just bad at the games.
Yeah. Those little turny things, I hated those as a kid.
Nah, I still suck at them.
Ugh. So annoying.
So, but I do, the way that I tend to play RPGs is, like, if I do grind, then I'll just kind of clear the board that I'm on. But for the most part, I just generally don't avoid enemies. So if they happen, they happen. And then I just kind of naturally level up.
Hey, look at that.
Speaking of which, so the level up system in this game is really interesting. So you automatically gain a bunch of stat increases. So we have HP attack, defense, magic attack, and magic defense. They're all kind of like the basic stuff.
Basic RPG stats.
Which I kind of appreciate that. I think that we had a point where we started getting way too complex to not very strong of a benefit. And there are obviously games that did have good benefits. Like Dark Souls, even though it's not primarily an RPG, utilized a complex stat system well.
Right.
And then we get to choose up a level up bonus. So I could min-max, right, and just put everything into attack and defense and become just a disgusting monster. But if you notice, there are some that give us more points than others. So it's a random chance, well, maybe random. It might be hard-coded to work this way for all I know. But right now, I'll get 3 extra points in magic attack if I choose this perk, compared to this, where I'll only get 1. But next level, I may only get 1 from this, but I may get 5 for attack.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
If the player pays attention, they might choose, and this is a good way to encourage the player to like kind of diversify their stats instead of min-max. I'm not a huge fan of it because to me, it's not a choice. I'm always going to choose the one that gives me more points total because I play the long game.
Right.
But if you wanted to min-max, you still have that option. So I think it
accommodates both styles.
Yeah, exactly.
Certainly one is going to make the game a little bit more difficult than another method is going to make it. But
and I think a lot of players, when they first start playing the game, they don't really know that that's how it works. Not until you've leveled up at least a few times and you're like, wait, these aren't always the same.
Right.
How are we on time, Master?
Well, with that in mind, that's all that we're going to have for this episode of GDPG.
We're not that over.
Well, it's a little bit.
3 over. 3 minutes over.
It's not that bad.
I was worried that you're going to be like,
oh, yeah, we're like
we've
15
been on this
minutes
episode
over.
for 30 minutes, Chris.
Have fun editing that. No. But yeah, this is a series that we're going to be playing for a little bit.
It's a pretty short RPG, but we're going to finish this.
Yes. And I'm excited because I get to come back for a full playthrough again.
Yeah!
Because I miss this. I miss recording with you guys. I miss having a lot of fun. I miss trolling Tony and trolling you, and it's just the best. Trolling them really does make my life. Question of the day.
Question of the day. What do they do? Well, we skipped the tutorial, so I can't really talk about that. I guess what are they doing in the very beginning to set up an interesting narrative? Because they do some things where they kind of start things off standard Mario story style. And then they kind of like...
There's a curveball.
Yeah, they throw in an interesting loop. But I think they're doing some things to kind of set certain precedences without it like dragging on or a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time on GDPG.
Bye, everyone.